Good morning, beautiful souls. Welcome back or welcome to The Hawk. And my name is Lana Zelinsky, and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, in all my videos, simply take what resonates, and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. Happy Friday. Here we are, the end of the week. We made it to Friday. I'm grateful to be here. It's been a very good week, energetically, work-wise. Spirit has been absolutely incredible as always. Good morning. Come on in. Um, some interesting stuff that I'm going to be chit-chatting a little bit about, and I think that over the next couple weeks, my channeling with Spirit is going to be very interesting as we navigate through some interesting energy. So let's just kind of talk about where we are energetically in cycles. And with the full moon, we have a beautiful harvest moon, a lot of harmony, a lot of growth, a lot of awareness on what we need to let go of. Full moons are always a great time to let go. Good morning, all you coming in. It's good to see you. Kayla, I'm gonna book a reading with you soon. Be great. It'd be lovely to meet you. I really feel that as we tap into the energy of current energy, I tried something interesting with spirit during my meditations and going into trance. And I tried a little bit of I don't want to use the word prediction, but I try to feel in ahead of time, and because there's been a lot going on social media with a lot of different channelers posting different things. Some of it is stirring up a lot of fear. So I took this to spirit. I took this and I said, can you help me out here on some understanding? And I got an interesting answer with spirit, and one thing that spirit said is that we are constantly wanting to grab what is ahead of us, what is ahead of us, what is ahead of us, and a lot of what is ahead of us, excuse me, a lot of what is ahead of us can change and can shift, due to collective energy and also with the current lessons that we are learning collectively. And spirit gave me a bit of a heads up that, and they wanted me to share it with you. Is are there great shifts coming? Absolutely. Do we have the power in the present moment to embrace the whole now and love and healing? Absolutely. And what we do in the power of right now can change what future or what is ahead energetically. And one thing that has come up when I said talk to spirit with, well, you know what, there's so much chaos going on in the physical world right now. And spirit was very, very clear. There was chaos several hundred years ago. And with the learning of repeat lessons is the space that we're in, but we're also coming into this time space reality with a whole new space of healing and a whole new space of love. And I know this is going to sound a little bit corny because when kind of spirit talked to me about it, I'll be honest with you, I did kind of have that, yeah, I know, kind of, I won't say eye rolling energy, but that, yeah, I know. All there truly is love in the present moment, and we know that, but we keep pushing ahead as to, and people ask me that all the time, as to what's coming, what's coming, what's coming. I feel very differently when I lean in there with spirit, with what's coming. I feel that we are working on healing. I feel like we have taken great steps in how we view and look at our physical world. Our physical world is always changing and evolving, and yes, we are being asked to evolve. There is a big step into that with being asked to evolve. And when you look at where things were, less than 100 years ago, there was even certain music that we weren't even supposed to be listening to. Like we have grown a lot into a loving space. And the spirit guided me back into what can we do right now, all of us collectively, what can we do right now to kind of emphasize that, or step up or turn the volume up louder on the whole love aspect and the whole healing and the whole oneness of where we are right now, because what we do right now does have a ripple effect into the future of mankind and into the future of our physical world, and that microphone is becoming louder and louder and louder. The other thing that is becoming louder and louder, and one of the lessons that we are being taught over time, right? I mean, because when you look at old lessons from ancestors, and the ancestor energy. I've talked about this, for several weeks now. The ancestor energy is very loud and present. Ancestors, ancient ancestors, are showing up in readings. And people will say, "Well, I didn't know my great great, grandmother or grandfather." But what they're coming forward is to help navigate with that ancient knowledge, because there's a lot of wisdom in that. And we are being called into the space of unconditionally trouble speaking there this morning. So as some of you navigate through, what other people are saying, what other people feel are coming, bring yourself back to right now. Right now, we're healing. Right now, we're working with each other. And right now, this is where our power is. And we are coming into a great space of taking that back. We have become a little bit laid back with selling out our power, or with or jumping out of our power into somebody else's thoughts processes, and we're giving that momentum. And spirit said that to me very loud and clear. We, not necessarily you or me, but we are giving so much power to what's wrong, and we're not pushing through with what's right. So I think that as we navigate through the weekend, I think what I felt coming, because I'm going to come back to this harvest full moon that we're in, I feel that what we're coming into this weekend is, I feel like many of you are going to be becoming aware of what is so right in my world right now. What is so right? And with this harvest mood, and with the gratitude of everything that it brings, and with the gratitude of everything that we're clearing and changing and working on right now, that is where spirit is pushing my focus. That is where spirit is pushing my work. And spirit gave me a delicious idea that I need to percolate a little bit more on. When it comes to being a louder voice, a stronger voice, a more powerful voice in the vibration of the frequency that we want. We can, and I will say this loud and proud, we can raise the collective vibration of this universe and change what may be coming in towards us in future times. And right now, this is where we are, and this is the space that spirit wants us to heal, and the work that needs to be done. It needs to be done in the now. And the more we pull into the what if there's not this in the future? What if, because there's been a lot going on. I wasn't aware of it until somebody pointed it out to me, with what's been going on social media, with a lot of doom and gloom. And when we lean into that power, we're literally saying, 'cause if you believe in energy, if, because, I mulled this over with spirit, and spirit said, "Well, let's go back to what you believe. Okay. So do you believe in energy? Do you believe in a higher power? Do you believe in that?" Yep. Yes, I responded. So if you believe in the energy, and if what we put out is collective, we will manifest a change. So we have to be careful on how much we're leaning into all that's wrong, all that fear, all the, what ifs, and we need to kind of shift that into, but right now we can bring that back into balance with a different vibration. We got to be more aware of what we're manifesting, because if you believe in the law of attraction, if this is something that you connect with, that you resonate with, then we have to pull into that belief system so that we're not attracting what we don't want, and what we're not attracting. Now, our thoughts create things, not a new concept. Many healers and spiritualists before me, have preached that. Wayne Dyer, our thoughts create our reality. Just one of many, 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 many healers that fully believe that. And Abraham Hicks, one of my favorites. Our thoughts create things. So if we had that spiritual belief from what spirit showed me was the spiritual community, right? As a big collective, if we all truly believe that, why are we not using that power? Oh, here it is. Why are we not using that power to rattle up and shake up what's going on that's not in alignment with love, light, and healing? And I think when we navigate through that, and I'll be brutally honest with you guys, because that's kind of this. I'm very raw and open, and Esther, has my spirit guide, has taught me that if we truly believe that, why are we feeding something else? And I had this moment of, yeah, why are we doing that? Right? Other other people's life lessons that they have come here to learn. We have also come here to teach them a different way, a different path. And we can, one person at a time, raise up the collective thinking to shift out of hate, to shift out of negativity, to shift out of what's wrong, and to come at this, any change or shift that we are going to navigate through in the physical world. We have a different alignment that we can choose to lean into. And spirit was very, very clear on that. This is a school of choice and free will, right? And yes, some of the lessons were soul contracted out when we agreed to come here, but we agreed to come here. And I don't know about you guys, but I didn't come here to live in a negative vibration or be destructive. We came here as loving beings. And the majority of us are that. And that was one thing that spirit said to me is wait a minute here. Cause I took a whole bunch of stuff to spirit. I was a little bit, I was a little bit, I was a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Wasn't questioning, but I was a little bit, I want to take these issues to spirit and see what they have to say about it, because there's a lot going on social media that I was literally took a big breath in and I just felt, please don't let that get 2 million views, because 2 million people are going to feed into that energy and have bring that in. So I really felt that this full moon is bringing us into a space of the current harvest, what's currently right, the support that we have for one another. And if we're going to go through a big shift, because I don't feel that it has been determined. I'm going to be brutally honest with you, but Spirit said that to me. It has not been determined. We have the choice to change, and we have the choice to shift out of this, because there was, like, I'm not kidding you. Once I kind of looked at it, there was like hundreds of people out there saying, get ready to hide and get ready to do this. And I'm thinking, what the heck? Because I'm not feeling that from spirit, y'all. I'm not feeling that. Do I feel like we need to be prepared for, shift and growth? Yeah, but we always have. Think about that for a moment. We have always had the turbulence of economy. We've always had the turbulence of politicians. Look back at ancient times and we push through it. And how collectively, right? So I think we need to pull this back in for a moment and just kind of look at the basics here. And that's what Spirit said. This is very simple. This is very simple. And I started playing, and I know this is going to sound corny, but the song started playing in my head. All you need is love. And I'm not going to sing. I promise I'll save you that. But, we need to start singing that. And and the other song, and it came up for me. And I think I talked about it. I have to look back on the lives, but I think I talked about it either last week or Monday. You need to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony, right? So, and that's the kind of space that we as spiritual people, as healers, we need to come together and say, we need this to be the microphone. One thing that is coming up, if as far as the world that's growing and shifting and changing, we are evolving, and we're evolving spiritually. And in I don't know exactly how many years, but in future years and in future dimensions, I gotta emphasize that there are higher evolved dimensions where we are higher beings. We are beings. We're not male, we're not female, we're beings, we're energetic beings and loving beings, because those dimensions at some point in their learning just literally, leaned into that and embraced that. And that's kind of what this physical world is kind of navigating through, is we are beings, loving beings. And it doesn't matter, all the other subtitles that come into that. It's a oneness. And when you look back on time, that has been the missing piece. And spirit is going on a rant. I can feel myself getting very, very, very plugged in there. That has been the message the whole time. That has been the message the whole time. We are one. It doesn't matter on anything else. That is the lesson, regardless of color, regardless of culture, regardless of where we are in belief systems. And when you look at the spirit dimensions, that is exactly what it is when it's up there when I channel. When I channel from the spirit dimensions, it's not like we've got pods of people or pods of souls and from different cultures. It's a one, and the soul is multidimensional. And that's what we're being asked to see here. Spirit's got a big plan for me. I'm going to be buckling up and holding on tight, because there's going to be some big new refreshing ideas that I really feel that I need to lean in on. And I'm not quite sure where that's going to take me or take all of us, because I do feel all of you are going to be a part of that. This full moon, enjoy the magic. There's a lot, 'cause I'll tell you, So when I was doing my channeling for the full moon, I know I was channeling all this healing light and all of this space of gratitude and harmony and ending of old cycles and the abundance. I was feeling all this abundance energy come in. And I was just like I was absorbing that, thinking, oh, this feels so good. And then I would have that peak moment. Yeah, but there's a whole thing going on right now that there's some kind of doomsday energy coming, and spirit kept saying, "No, this is the energy. No, this is the energy." And I kept and I lean in there and I'm always honest. I always, am I channeling this? Am I hearing you right? Because there's a whole other side. And they're like, "No, so lean out of the fear, whatever is triggering that fear. We got to lean out of that, you guys. We have to lean out of that. With right now, we have a beautiful harvest moon that is projecting us so much love, and Mother Earth is holding us in that loving space, and that's how we need to move. That's the vibration that we need to lift. That's the vibration that we need to become more expansive in. And and I don't know how many healers or how many other mediums listen to up to my channel, but I am going to say this: we have got to, as healers, come together with that big old microphone and work together on this 100%. 100%. And we as people, we as collectives, we have to start singing all we need is love. We need to change that. We need to stop with this, with this planning for, for half the earth to be evaporated. We really have to lean into this loving space, and that is where spirit is taking me. And I will be brutally honest, after I was finished my transmission with spirit, I leaned in there and I said to them, are you sure? Because because there's a whole other thing going on with, with like hoarding stuff and hate and energy and spirit. It's like 100% you stand in your power, Lana, right now, and get on YouTube. And that's why I was a little bit late, because I sat there with my sheet with, are you sure? And it's not that I don't trust, because I trust them more than I trust the physical world, but I am human. So there is that moment when when I do channel some things. Not everything is always fuzzy bunny when I channel either. But and I understand that. But right now, pull yourself in this weekend, detach from everything that's wrong, and come into that energy of everything is right. Now I want you to start expanding at just visualizing it for a moment. Expanding throughout your community, throughout your household. Visualize yourself, sending it to, anybody here. Visualize sending it to Diane. Visualize sending it to Dee Dee. Visualize yourself sending it to me, so that it can expand. We've got to stop feeding and giving momentum to what we don't want. Because if we believe in energy 101, and it comes, and that's what spirit said. Do you believe in your belief system of it all being energy? Do you believe in the power of manifestation? Do you believe in the power of our thoughts? Do you believe that we create things? And I'm like, yeah, I have for a long time, spirit. Then you've got to lean back into that and start expanding that out. Beautiful transmission. I had a good time with it. I'm also thinking, because you have been so supportive, I am mulling around the idea, and I'm waiting for my go ahead sign to do a live like a live feed of when I go into trance. I trance very differently than other people that I've seen. I haven't seen, a ton of other people who trance, but I have seen a few. I'm leaning into that. I'm waiting for spirit to say go for it, and so I'm just to give you a heads up. I do have to work this morning, so I am going to scroll up to the top here and just have a look as to what you're all saying. If anybody's in agreement here, I would love to know. And if you're feeling something very similar, are you feeling like, hey, wait a minute, like we've got this backwards? Is anybody feeling that? Like we got this backwards. Let's see. My mom made it to Friday too. Still laughing in here. I wore my princess warrior outfit today. I love that. I love that. Dee Dee, I do feel a bit of a shift in the surrender with mom. I do feel like she's closer to surrendering into the transition. And quite often with our passing, we do have some control over that when we're ready. The physical body can hang in there only so long, but we do have that. Okay, now, okay, I'm gonna surrender now. We will continue to send you love and light. I worry about that a lot, says Diane. Yeah, so Diane, try and shift out of that. Like, try and shift out of that. But it, it's a big one. And like I said, I almost choked when spirit said this was the topic that I was going to go on to today. Just kinda lean in there a little bit more. It's funny you say that. Yesterday, I had a dream where I asked you your opinion in the validity of other mediums. Um, that's interesting, Kayla. Um, every medium channels differently. Every medium has their own we have to be very careful as mediums, and this is just a blanket statement. It's not towards anybody, but we have to kind of work. I work really hard as a medium and as a spiritual teacher and as a healer to really remove myself out of it, to remove my own fears, to remove myself from other people's stuff, because we can pull that in. And I also really work really hard that I am channeling from the highest level of source energy as well, and I think that's really important. But even as mediums and channelers, and I don't know them personally, so I can't say yes or no to this, but sometimes our thoughts can jump into the channeling, right? So that is a big one. Even when I teach my mentoring students, and I'm not sure if any of my mentoring students are on here this morning, I don't see them at the moment, but one of the first things I teach them, it's called stepping out, to be able to step completely out of yourself, out of your because we are programmed, just based on our physical world experience, and we are continuously programmed through news, through media, through other people's thoughts. So I teach my students how to step out of all that and to completely only allow spirit. So that's I'm not sure how other mediums how they all work, but that is a piece of it too, right? And if you notice is sometimes, and I'm going to say this very lovingly, I'm coming into my heart space to say this, sometimes there's trends, right? There's trends of things, and one thing that I really don't follow is any trends. I'm on my own business. I work with my guides. I don't necessarily focus on what other people are channeling, because I don't need the validation. This is what spirit is saying to me, and I'm great with that. So, but there are trends, and you probably will notice that all of a sudden everybody's talking about this, everybody's talking about that. There can be trends, and we can pull that in our channelings. We do have to be careful with that. Um, I asked my guides last night for an answer to all of this. So interesting that this is the message today. It is very interesting, Diane. It's all, and here it is. It's all collective. It's all energy. It's all thoughts. Our thoughts create things, right? It's back to basics. And when you think about back to basics, that's kind of where we're being pointed to anyway. Less commercialism, less material stuff, less focus on let's be honest here. That's been the pattern that we're showing. But like we're being shown, like why all this stuff and why all this, why? Right. So, when you look back, when you go back to basics, and that's why there's so much ancestry stuff. Yes, they had their hard times, but the family unit was quite strong back then. Right. Like for the most part, right? Everybody pitched in, everybody helped, communities helped. Like we've gotten away from that, and we're being kind of pointed into that direction. I hope that makes sense. My Italian ancestors have definitely been reaching out. I love that so much. Not corny at all. I think people are healing themselves. I see people breaking generational curses and being open to talk about generational curses. 100%. I also, and I talked about this before. Hold on, I got something. Ads will run shortly for some of you viewers. I want to skip that. YouTube has inserted something new about automatically putting ads in the lives. I do get a message that I can skip it, so hopefully that doesn't interrupt us. So one thing I love so much is the youth today. I can't get enough of them. I cannot get enough of them. They are such star seeds that have an incredible perspective. They get it, even though they may not understand it. And we need to kind of lean in there as well, because they are leading the way into some great new things energetically, and new ways of believing. And we have to blend that. Our ancient people and our ancient ancestors were doing the best that they could with the knowledge that they had. And they had a lot of good knowledge too. A lot of ancient healings um, are stronger than some of our Western medicines and healings too, right? So we need to balance and blend those worlds in order to learn and grow. Okay. Hello, I won't be chatting much because I have to drive home from work while listening. Okay. I can't stay on too long either today. I have an in-person client at 10 at my Cambridge office. Let's see where we need to go. Wanted to update you that I'm on my way to my first day as a veterinary technician. Let's all clap for Kristen. Good for you. Good for you. Good morning, all of you coming in here. Wow, I have chills, Lana. That is so, so true. It is. And those spiritual chills is your higher self responding to the truth in that. That's what spiritual chills are. People get them during readings, people get them when they're listening to things. You can even get them in a song. You right that that the hair in the back of your neck, that's truth. That is your higher self saying, heck yeah. All right. So yeah, that's exactly what that is. And even in readings, when you get those spiritual chills or that or the temperature, the room might change a little bit in temperature. That's your higher self responding to spirit around you. Like that spirit coming in. This helps so much. I worry about civil war and the future. Um, come back to the power of now. That is what I am. That is what I'm taking away with this with spirit. Is it possible? Yep. Can I change it? Yeah, I can. I can. I can work really hard to lift that and put that healing energy out. And if we are faced with difficult times, we're going to navigate through it. And that's spirit was loud and clear with that. It's going to change a lot of my channeling and how I'm working. They are working very differently. It's coming for me. I will trust it with all that I have, but come back to right now. Okay. This is such an important message. Thank you very much, KS. Um, I'm completely blown away right now. It is powerful. I felt it very powerful. Ever since, okay, even science supports what you're saying right now. That's interesting that you bring that up. Very interesting that you bring that up, Cheyenne, because um, there's a lot of systems that require proof, right? And I have worked very hard over the years to kind of knock it out of that. Don't kid yourself. There have been moments in my journey I thought I'm a crazy. Yes, and science is learning more and science is learning more and more about energy work and about mediumship and about remote viewing. The science is learning more and more, and with quantum physics, on things that we've been saying for a very long time. The scientific community is becoming more and more open to kind of let's look at this. But absolutely, there is scientific evidence that proves how powerful energy is, and we need to jump on that. And I I'm getting so excited because they're so excited. Like, Lana, you get it, right? So there's something that's coming that I'm probably going to require most of you to help me with. That we need to kind of tap into this now. Right. All right. I've been trying to make thoughts more empowering by imagining the utopic future we could build. We could build such a beautiful future. Most of the bad we imagine already exists, but there's so much more of the good to explore. Very well said. And that's it, right? There are people that are going to be here to learn lessons 100%, but we have to be louder than that. We have to be louder than what's wrong with the world. We have to be louder than that. Right. We have to rise up and put that back in the balance because right now, many of us are hopping on that bus of what's wrong and catastrophe. Many of us are hopping on that. And I've got to call back my own power and call back spirit on that with let's do something about that energetically. Very excited. Very excited. Um, I do have to. I was just listening to the Beatles. Oh, I love that. I was saying this week I was saying that if this I was saying this week to my clients about love, togetherness, and balance. 100%. I woke up today and asked my angels to help me rise the vibration of every person and place I interact with this weekend. I feel so aligned. You're such a beacon of knowledge and truth, Lana. Kyle, thank you very much. But that is all of us, right? That is all of us. We are all in this together. And sometimes it's just about pulling it all in now. Let's pull it all in and build more of this community and more of this power of love and healing, and let's get at it, right? Kyle, good for you. That's your own like you channeled something very, very similar. I woke up today and asked my angels. You channeled. You asked. That is channeling, Kyle. There are so many different ways, and there's your way, and that's beautiful. I love that so much. And so again, with interacting with expanding, and that's exactly what I said, Kyle. Visualizing and going out to people. Visualize that. And it does work. And when you think about energy 101, I'll always say, have you ever been thinking about somebody and they call you? That's energy. It's energy 101. So why can't we use energy 101 to shift all this crap? I'm very excited with the momentum, and, when it finally made sense to me because I used to sit there with spirit, and I'm thinking, "I'm getting all this excitement for what's coming, and there's a whole bunch that are getting, like, doom and gloom, like, I'm getting all this excitement, I'm getting healing, I'm getting love, I'm getting community, I'm getting growth, I'm getting healing," and, like, and that's where we need to go, you guys. Um It's Fran, exactly. The conspiracy community is everywhere on social media, and it just creates so much anxiety. We shouldn't be ignorant to what's happening, but I have to live knowing good wins. Absolutely. And we can shift what's happening. And we can step back from what doesn't ring true. What doesn't ring true, right? Like there are some things it's like you just scratch your head. Well, that doesn't ring true. Where we need to we need to shift our focus and I'm excited to be a part of that. I don't know exactly how that's going to unravel for me, or how I'm going to lead that, but they will help. But we do need to shift out of that. And some of this has always been there. We haven't always known about it because the big old microphone of social media is just giving it momentum and expansive. We're aware of how far this is, right? It's 9:07. I've pushed the limit. I've pushed the limit on my time. I do it every time. I push the limit. Oh, there's Tammy Arbor. 100% agree. I love that. Tammy, I love you, my friend. I do have, yeah. Tammy, I will be calling on you, I think, to help me with some of this energy work that I think needs to be done. I really feel we need to come together and be loud with this, and spirit will guide me to that. Um, let's ask. Let us ask. Let us ask. What do we need to hear collectively for the next couple days? Jellyfish. Jellyfish. Keep your faith strong and know that life will supply everything that you need. Holy smokes, holy smokes. I want to read that again because we just talked about that. Keep your faith strong and know that life will supply everything that you need. Practice the art of non-resistance, going with the currents and movements of life rather than fighting them. Can't make this crap up. Hold on. Sorry, my eyes are watering. Be a little more cautious at this time with any work you're doing in the spirit realm. Be sure that you're getting enough water throughout the day. Organize your work in your home so that you're more efficient and effective, doing a little bit each day. Holy cow. That's powerful. That's powerful. That first line is powerful. Keep your faith strong and know that life will supply everything that you need. We just talked about that, folks. We just talked about the harvest, the power of now, grateful for what we have. We just talked about that. Practice the art of non-resistance, going with the currents and movements rather than fighting them. You can't push a river upstream. You cannot. You cannot push a river upstream. Right? So, where are we right now? We are in the power of love, the power of abundance. We are in the power of creating our own reality. Very powerful morning. I I have been doing this, you guys, for oh my gosh, 20 plus years, 25 years working with spirit and working with energy. And every single time I still have that. Every single time. Even though I trust and I know. It's so powerful to have that guidance and that reassurance, right? It's so powerful. Thumbs up this morning. This has been a great morning. Thumbs up if you enjoyed hanging out here. Um, Enjoy that harvest moon. Enjoy the fall. Fall is such a beautiful time. It's an abundant time. It's an abundance of vegetables, an abundance of people. It's abundance of fresh air. It's an abundance of letting go. The trees are starting to let go, and we need to tap into that. We need to come into our spiritual selves and that energy and aligning with that, and trusting that everything is okay. When the trees are letting go and nature's getting ready to kind of shift in the season, but you think the trees think, what if I don't wake up in the spring? Right? Or like when the birds migrate to warmer communities, you think they think, well, what if it doesn't, what if we don't go back? Right? They just go with the season. It's true, right? It's, we need to kinda lean into that. We just need to trust where we are. We're right where we're supposed to be, and moving forward with love, and we need to push that forward. I'm very excited for what's coming. I can't wait. I'm gonna have to clear my schedule to get more time, though, with trance because, it's gonna be amazing. Enjoy your weekend. Breathe, let go, Look at the moon, get your feet on the ground, head out to the country and buy some roadside squash. Get like, if you feel like you need to have a little bit extra, food put away, go local. Like, go at it with love, right? I do put away squash, just because I love it so much, and I love butternut squash. I make soups out of it. But anyway, that's why I do it. I don't get butternut squash, in the fall for the winter just in case there's no more. I get it because I'm enjoying it. I want to enjoy that, right? It was grown locally. It has a vibration. I want it throughout the winter. That's kind of how I lean in there. Look at me. I've stretched it beyond time. I better manifest no traffic to my office. Love, light, blessings, and a spirit guided day. Take care of each other.